I know everybody bear with me, but as a doula in my early days, basically going in with a pregnant woman a doula is one called alongside to help with birth. It's not the medical end of it. It's not the midwifery of it. It's the emotional and spiritual support. But there is coaching involved. And one of the first things I always teach a woman is when you're having a natural childbirth, when the contractions come, which trust me, men, you have no idea what we're talking about. You breathe through them. You don't clench up. When you clench, that's not running to God, by the way. When you clench up, you are trained by the imposter to deal with pain or to deal with those things perceived as pain as something that you pull up in your body and you get real tight and it does not allow that organ in your body to do what it's supposed to do. So I say, breathe through those breathe through those contractions. Well, when you're in pain, you try to breathe normally through a contraction. That is definitely something that you have to be taught. In our spiritual walk, we are not supposed to leave our habitation. Our habitation is one that runs to God in all things. It's one who praises God, who is continuously in a relationship with God. But the enemy has taught us to pull away, to be ashamed or be fearful or all those things. So basically, really, we're being spiritual doulas when we tell you what to do in the face of mistakes, sin, iniquity. We have to retrain our physical, our spiritual, and our soul to react to what God is saying. So the reality is that everything the devil taught you is false. Okay? First you got to get that. Everything he taught, don't leave your habitation. Your habitation is in him. If you leave your habitation, then you are not going to be able to succeed in God because your habitation is in him, not without him. So what started is, in the prophecy, is that when things happen where you have missed the mark, you run to the Lord to find out where the mark is. How can you even get to the mark if you don't even know where it is? But you know when you're out of kilter. You know when you're not in God. You know in your physical being. You know in your spirit when you are not in him or of him. And that's the first thing you should do is go, I perceive and discern that I'm out of my habitation, which is the will of God, by the way. My habitation is in him. The will of God is supposed to be my habitation. That's when you go, where did I miss it? That's when you go running to him and saying, I missed it. I know I missed it. I need to retrain my being to stay in you. That's like breathing through pain when you just want to go, no, I don't want it. No, you've got to work in it to overcome it. You can't run from it. You got to face it. And that goes against the imposter God's nature because he runs. He runs from God. He runs from you. When you know who he is, he's going to run. He's a runner. Not you. The only running you do is towards God. To him. In him. For him. With him. No matter how weird it feels to go back into the throne room with all that mess on you. You got to go back to him.